getting into it. Spawning in the top left of our map, Daedalus Point in green. This team is down 4-1. They are one map from elimination in this series. It's our Zerg player, PharaohRoche. Love the name. And his opponent in the bottom right. Our orange Zerg player for Lucky 13. It's Thrudge. I forgot to actually look at that. There we go. Yeah. Those icons. Those icons. Did I call one of these players a Protoss? I think I called one of them a Protoss. Did I call him a Protoss? I may have called him a Protoss. Or I'm just losing my mind. That is a distinct possibility. I have been spending far too much time in my apartment recently. Never graduate, kids. Leaves you with way too much free time. Alright, so this is going to be our second TVZ? Maybe? Yeah, we had a ZVZ earlier. I do believe. Yes, we had a ZVZ earlier that turned into a strange kind of elimination race with mutas against spore crawlers. It didn't work out too well for the muta player, so we'll see if either player has a better time in this game. So far, nothing yet from either player. This is another large map, but both players are going to go for pool first. It's large, but it is two-player. I think it's just a big two-player map. Kind of awkward positions for our extra bases. These end up being your 4th and 5th, or this ends up being your 5th, even your 4th. It can be difficult to hold, especially given this neat little counter-attack path down here. Super annoying. But both players playing it fairly safe, going for these pool firsts. And it looks like both of them are going to be expanding pretty much almost the exact same time here. Pharaoh will be a little bit quicker, just ever so slightly faster. These are the things that win the game, right, kids? This is what wins the game. And the gas coming in for Pharaoh. So he'll be going gas prior to Thrudge, and actually Thrudge is getting his gas as well, but his gas will be ever so slightly behind. But I mean, at this level of play, these kind of slight moments in time where you're behind the other player can really have an effect, especially if it means the difference between having banelings and not having any banelings yet, or just even having a lot of speedlings and no speed yet, and just a lot of slowlings. That can be a bit of a problem. So we'll have to wait and see, I do suppose, for a little while at least. Queen's on the way for both players, and yeah, both players are just kind of setting themselves up to be nice and safe. If Pharaoh decides to pull off a gas, we'll know a little bit more about it, what his plan is here. But if he stays in this gas completely, he's definitely going to be quite aggressive. He does have the 100 gas now, and he has speed immediately once the 100 gas is mined, so nicely done there for him. And same situation here for Thrudge. He'll be at 100 gas relatively shortly. And actually, Queen getting in, being kind of annoying, almost going for this Overlord. But Overlord should be able to get away unless the Queen tries to traipse down all the way down this ramp, which is quite dangerous. But he could do it. He's not going to. He wants to inject. Injecting's a much wiser decision. Much wiser decision, right? Yes. Actually, a very, very early Roach Warren here for Thrudge. So he's looking to kind of all in his opponent and be super aggressive here. Only 3 drones right now at his natural. 4 more are on the way. And he's still mining a lot of gas. He's really not going to have the minerals to actually be able to produce the amount of roaches that he really wants, I don't think. At least not as early as he wants. Baneless and Spy Color on the way for Pharaoh in his natural base. And a second gas as well. And he is back onto this gas. He's already going straight into lair. So he's wanting to get into lair tech super fast. So both players are playing kind of aggressive, but in just different ways. And depending on what Pharaoh decides to do with this, and what Thrudge decides to do with this Roach Warren that is finished, no units on the way just yet. He is not supply blocked. That is Pharaoh who's supply blocked slightly. Another gas on the way for Thrudge. So this Roach Warren is done extremely fast, but nothing is being produced off of it. Lair actually on the way instead of anything out of the Roach Warren. Super early Roach Warren that isn't being used. And 2 more gases coming for Pharaoh, so this could be just straight into a Spire for PharaohRoche, which could be quite problematic. And the Ling is actually, this Ling is going to get in here and be super annoying, and he's going to see pretty much absolutely everything. Sees a lair on the way, Sees the pool, sees the Roach Warren, even clicks on the Roach Warren for good measure. So he knows what's on the way. He knows what he's fighting against, and he knows he's pretty safe. Actually, even going up to these double Evo chambers here. 7 roaches finally in production for our orange Zerg, but nothing on the way just yet for PharaohRoche. Beyond these 2 Evo chambers. Another couple spine crawlers coming in, so she can stay safe from roaches that are inevitable. But beyond that, yeah, no choice. There's finally the Spire. There's finally the Spire. So it is indeed going to be a Spire. And +1 Carapace on the way, and I imagine +1 melee attack will be on the way as well. Roach speed on the way. A lot more roaches. 9 more roaches on the way to join the 7 that are already out in the field. And Thrudge is going to try and take his 3rd base, but there is a Ling down here that will likely keep it from even being able to build. Yeah, not going to be able to build the hatchery, which is super annoying. He's going to try to build. Yeah, he builds the extractor, so he's able to bring down his roaches and kill off this Ling, but does he see? Oops. Thrudge still has no idea that the Spire is almost done. And if a bunch of mutas suddenly appear and you have absolutely nothing to defend against them, it can be a bit of a problem. And he's going for this 3rd base, which is quite dangerous. A bunch of mutas and a bunch of Lings swinging in just for a counterattack against the 3rd while the mutas are ransacking in the main or anywhere else. It can be a very big problem. Roche has not taken a 3rd base yet. It doesn't look like he's going to take a 3rd base, at least for a long time. He's got a ton of gas banked up, almost 1,100 gas, and just not enough minerals to make Metelisks just now. Only 4 on the way, and he's just, as soon as he has the minerals for him, he's producing Metelisks. He's up to making 6 now, and he's still got a lot of gas, but roaches are going to be pushing in here now, and only 3 spine crawlers and some Lings, and this could be kind of problematic. Actually, roaches are for some reason focusing on the Bailey Nest, which is not at all what they want to do. They're actually going to start backing off. Mutas are going to be starting to pop out, and now the roaches are going to have to probably turn around and go home. They're not going to get enough damage done before all of them die is kind of the problem. They don't have any upgrades right now. And they'll be going against static defense that are getting some... One decent transfuse goes off, and these spine crawlers are doing a ton of work. And even the mutas are already... Yeah, the mutas have cleaned this up completely. So despite there being a huge army advantage there for Thrudge for quite a while, he's pushed his opponent away. Or he's been pushed away. Completely. And Pharaoh is going to take a 3rd base. Spore crawlers are going down. There are 2 in the main. There's 2 in the natural. There are none at the 3rd base just yet. So that can be a problem. At the very least, these mutas are probably going to deny this base for a little while. Thrudge is going to start trying to throw down spore crawlers, but the mutas are already here. There's already some mutas. They're going to take out the one spore crawler building and they're going to take out the other one, and there's just no answer for it. More and more mutas are streaming across the map now. 15 mutas already on the field. +1 attack is on the way for them. +1 carapace is already done for Roche's lanes. And +1 attack is on the way for them as well. And there are 7 Hydralisks about to pop out to join before they're already there. But more and more stuff is just dying right now for Thrudge. 3rd base did go down. Another Spore Crawler goes down. And Hydras are going to try to do what they can, but Pharaoh's he's just going to dance around. He's going to take out what he can and go back home and feel fine. And eventually he's just going to kind of dance around his opponent enough and whittle him down and just completely... He's going to deny this base for such a long time. He's going to really take a massive lead. Even not really going to be able to get these Spore Crawlers up, and even going after the Hydra Den. I think that's not as possible. +1 attack just about to finish, and there's not really many Hydras. Okay, there's a good amount of Hydras out. He's going to have to run away from that at least, but he's still in a pretty good situation. Bailey Nest being remade here for Pharaoh. Knowing he kind of needs that for a later situation. If he wants to fight head-on with those Hydralisks. He's sitting pretty right now. 45 to 35 workers in the lead of our green Zerg player. And a slight 30 supply lead for him as well. A lot of it is in the mutas. He is up to 20 mutas now, which is quite the hefty amount. Infestation Pit, a couple of Evo Chambers trying to come in, but being placed in kind of silly positions. Mutas are just going to pop in there and take him out. There's nothing he can do about it. That goes down. Hydra's trying to get in, but a few drones going to die to that. Muta's not the best of paths to take, but it's probably the best choice he had if he's going to run over this entire Hydra army or run over one Spore Crawler. So he decided to go for one Spore Crawler, which is okay. He's only lost 2 Metelisks so far. So he is okay at the moment. Infestation Pit is just about to finish here. But what is he going to use? He's got 95 gas right now. He's got a ton of minerals and just no gas. And these mutas are going to these mutas are going to deny gas mining. That's the one thing they can actually pick off is this gas. They're going to do just that. I'm just going to push them away for now. But that's a whole lot of lings and banelings sitting back here, waiting for their moment. Counterattack isn't going to be doing anything for Thrudge here. Thrudge is kind of in this really rough position right now. He's got a ton of minerals and just no way to actually use them. He could go for just more roaches, but it's not going to do anything against these hydras, or against these mulisks. And the mulisks are even, they're poking him where they can. Trying to find spots where they can actually poke in. And yeah, again, taking out the gas, knowing that his opponent is going to be very low on gas. 2 mutas do die to that, but third base here is going to go down, and without even a cancel, so there's another 300 minerals lost for our orange Zerg player. And he is badly behind in the units lost category, resources-wise, at the least. Mutas fly in again, actually probably going to take out the Roach Warren now, which is just another annoyance. And if it's just going to be Hydras, Banelings chew through Hydras pretty quickly, and even getting a couple shots off on some more Overlords, but going to walk out of there. First Infestor is on the field. Is that the only one? There's just the one Infestor. I don't even think. Okay, Pathogen Guns was finished, so he does have energy, but yeah. Look at this army back here. 140 supply to 104 supply. 54 workers to 30 workers in favor of our green Zerg player. And yeah, this position is quite nice. Mutas are popping when they can. Actually, they took out the Infestor pretty easily there. Actually, was that an Infestor? Yeah, he took out an Infestor. He just had another one. And yeah, trying to squeeze out Infestors when he can, but same time, Mutas are just posturing, being really annoying. Without a ton of coverage with Spore Collars and giving away all your drones to Spore Collars, he does have the minerals to really kind of go for some extra Spore Collars. It might not be the worst of decisions here. He really needs to be able to get up a third base sometime, and to do that, he's going to be able to want to push out with his army, and if his army is stuck in his main base trying to defend against this small packet mutas. And yeah, mutas have kind of not been a focus anymore. He's already going into Hive, probably going to be getting an Ultra Cavern as soon as Hive is finished. Pharaoh is only on 3 bases, and so he could be taking another base soon to kind of ramp up his economy, at least having the gas capabilities. But he's got a good amount of gas banked up, and actually has a lot of lings that just popped out for Thrudge. Speed is just about finishing, and it looks like Thrudge is just going to go for this. He knows he's in a kind of rough position, but it's a lot of Banelings, and the Banelings, they do have speed, so these lings are probably going to crash into the Banelings, and Banelings are still pretty good against just lings. So yeah, a lot of units go down there, and yeah, still just more and more in favor of our green Zerg player here. More and more lings and more Banelings, and even the mutas are coming in here. Infestors, well, they stop off a good amount, but not going to do too much there, and that is going to be GG. 147 supply to 30 supply. Thrudge calls GG. PharaohRoche keeps his team in it. It's 4-2 now, in favor of Lucky 13. There's All Inspiration is still just one map away from losing this series, but they are not done just yet.